Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai. I want to give double honors to the apostles of greatness who do rule well. Salutation to the men of the hope plan, sincere elect. This is brother Marcus out here in Trinidad. Just want to do a quick edification for the elect's sake. And the name of this lesson would be, don't lose sight of why you are running. Don't lose sight of why you are running. All right? Because we all know that we as the book of Peter says, receiving at the end of your faith even the salvation of our souls. And that is the main reason why, we doing what we're doing, pushing this word, teaching the faith, going out, waking up the elect. We doing this, so that we could receive salvation at the end, to be saved from the destruction to come. Peter asked, he said, Lord, we have forsaken all for you. What we're going to receive, And basically, we're going to receive 100-fold of everything. But before you receive 100-fold, you have to be delivered first. So the first reason we're doing this is so that we could be saved. All right? A destruction coming, and we want to be delivered from said destruction. All right? We want to be delivered from that said destruction, that's coming. All right, this is 1 Corinthians chapter 9 and verse 26. It says, I therefore so run, not as uncertainly, so fight I, not as one that beateth the air. But I keep under my body and bring it into subjection, lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway. All right, you don't want to be a castaway, and you want to receive salvation. You understand? So he said, so run I. All right, so fight I, not as one that beateth the air. Means you're not doing this work, all right, for no reward at the end. And as I said, the first reward we're gonna receive, as the scripture said, the first enemy that the Lord gonna destroy is death. All right, and we want to receive salvation. That first reward that we're gonna receive is salvation. All right, so a lot of things could sidetrack brothers from being continuous in the work. You might feel, tired. You might feel uninspired. You might feel less driven, which basically goes back to being uninspired. All right. And you start to lose interest in going out and doing the work, doing the lessons to edify. As Solomon, David said, he said, I delight to do thy will. I believe it was Solomon said that, if I'm not mistaken. Psalms 40 and 8. All right. It was Solomon said that. He said, I delight to do thy will. All right. So we have to delight to do this. All right. And when you find yourself feeling less driven, you finish work, but then, the evening is the Lord's works, and then you're like, my back hurting, my legs hurting. I'm really feeling to go and stand up out there for hours, and you start to complain. The flesh takes over. All right, and a lot of things can cause the flesh to take over. As I said, just listed some anxiety, depression. All these things could cause you to not, want to do the Lord's work. But at the end of the day, you have to psych yourself up. You have to counsel your own self. Because at the end of the day, if you believe that the destruction gonna come, if you believe in the prophecies, then you would do the work. If you stop pushing this truth, is because you don't believe in the prophecies. You don't believe that a destruction gonna come, and you don't believe that salvation gonna follow. Matter of fact, salvation before the destruction. All right. The destruction that I'm talking about is by thermonuclear destruction. All right, because they're going to first have Jacob's trouble, but before the nukes, while the nukes being shut off, simultaneously the Lord Yahushua can come with his elect angels and deliver the elect out of the house of Israel. All right, pursuant to Revelation 11, when he says, and they heard a voice saying, come up hither, and they ascended up in a cloud. And at that same hour was a great earthquake. So while the elect going up, the missiles coming down. So you want to escape that judgment. All right. You don't want to be a part of that judgment. That is why you would push this word. But if you stop pushing, basically because you no longer believe. You got disenchanted. And what could make you get disenchanted? All right, you need to fight them spirits. It could be a spirit of depression. It could be a spirit of anxiety or whatever mental health issues. And it could be pressure. It could be pressure. Let's say you have a spouse, right? Your wife. Let's say your wife, you have kids, and your wife pressuring you to maintain the family. You have a job, but then doing the Lord's work might take up some of your time. All right, so you might not maintain your family as well as she wants. You'd maintain your family, but not as she might want more. She might want more time. All right, and you have to put aside time for the Lord's work. And then she starts pressuring you and pressuring you and pressuring you. That is why the scripture says, roughly paraphrasing, better to live in a small corner than with a brawling woman. All right. And when she pressuring you and pressuring you, so everything just starts to cluster in your brain, and you start to feel, all, how to say, closed in, and you just might lose it, and you just might say F everything. All right. But don't let these spirits get to you. Don't let these spirits get to you. All right. You don't want to be a castaway at the end. All right. There's a great reward waiting, and you just have to fight. This is First Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 9. It says, verse 19, Salak. It says, quench not the spirit. And when you look up the word quench, it means to extinguish, which your spirit is a flame. So to extinguish that fire that's within you. All right. Despise not prophesying. Go out and prophesy. Go out and prophesy. Preach to the elect. All right. Show the Lord that you're sincere about this, that you desire his will, that you desire the kingdom, that you desire salvation. All right. And he will fight for you. He will take care of the rest. All right. As one of the brothers did our video, your mistake was coming into this truth. If you come into this truth and think that you weren't going to, get pressured or get persecution, the scripture says, acceptable men chosen in the fullness of adversity. You know what that means? That means when shit get tough, you get tougher. When shit gets tough, you get tougher. Let's look at your body. All right? Let's look at your body. You have on a steel tip boots, right? A work boots. And you're working all day, your feet soft. All right? Your feet soft, and you're working all day, so your toes rubbing. What's going to start to happen to your skin? You think your skin going to start to cut up and get bruised and start to bleed? I mean, for some people it might, but in most cases, you get something called a callus or a corn. So your skin starts to adapt to the conditions that it's placed under. It starts to adapt. All right? It don't crumble. It don't fall. It adapts. It becomes harder. All right? So your skin endure. All right? Means to harden. So you have to do the same thing. Endure. Suffer. Suffer for this truth. All right? Despise not prophesying. Philippians chapter 1 is one of my favorite precepts. This Philippians chapter 1 and verse 29. It says, for unto you it is given on the behalf of Mashiach, not only to believe on him, but also to suffer for his sake. Yahushai, look at Yahushai. Yahushai suffered. He was nailed to the cross, and look where he is now. If Yahushai had said, you know what, F that, where would we have been in these last days? Where would we have been in these last days? We'd have been dead. We'd have been... Esau might have successfully destroyed all the house of Israel by now. All right? But the Lord didn't have it so. So we have to fight also. Don't let nothing hinder you from making it into the truth. As the scripture says, like, no man take thy crown. All right? There's the book of Hebrews, chapter 4 and verse 9. It says, there yet remaineth, all right? It says, there yet remaineth a rest to the people of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. So there remaineth a rest. So you might think that, the work stressful, so that when you want to go man rest, you have to come out and do the Lord's work. Well, guess what? It's only for a matter of time. One morning you're going to wake up and you're going to be in the kingdom. All right? So just keep pushing. Hebrews 8 and 18, it says, your light affliction it not compared to what you're gonna receive. The Lord calling your affliction a light affliction. It says, take you my burden, for my burden is easy and my yoke is light. What we going through now is nothing compared to what we're gonna be recompensed. The kingdom, that 1 penny, it sounds like a little, but 1 penny to the most size is infinite happiness. Isaiah 35 and 10, it says everlasting joy. All right, you don't even know what 4 hours of joy looks like. All right, and the reason why I say 4 hours of joy, you might go a party 3-4 hours, you might receive joy for that 4 hours, but then after that reality snaps back. You have to go to work, to get up early in the morning, bills. Everlasting joy, just remember that. Everlasting joy, there yet remaineth a rest to the people of the Most High. All right, it says, for he that is entered into his rest, he also has ceased from his own works, as Yahweh did from his. All right, so the rest gonna come, but the rest is not now. All right, Micah 2 and 10, it says, this is not your rest. It says, let us labor therefore to enter into that rest. So if you want to enter that rest, if you want to make it into the kingdom, you have to fight, you have to work. You cannot stop. Don't lose sight of why you're running. Don't stop. All right? It says, let us labor therefore to enter into that rest, lest any man fall after the same example of unbelief. And when you go over to chapter 3, it says, chapter 3 verse 18, and to whom he swore that they should not enter into his rest, but to them that believe not. So you stopped because you stopped believing. If you believed, then you would have continued. All right? That is why John said they would have no doubt continued with us. So we see that they could not enter in because of unbelief. And if you stop pushing this word, that is a clear sign of unbelief. All right? This is Hebrews chapter 4 and verse 16. It says, let us therefore come boldly unto the throne of grace. You know what it means by boldly? It means that when Yahweh shall show up, you can stand there boldly looking up because you know you ran. You didn't stop. You might have fell, might have stumbled, but you did not stop. You did not stop believing. It says, let us therefore come boldly unto the throne of grace, that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in the time of need. And that is the main thing. We need help in the time of need. There's going to be a time of need and we're going to need help. 1 Thessalonians chapter 1 and verse 10, and to wait for his Son from heaven, whom he raised from the dead, even Yahweh Shai, which delivered us from the wrath to come. We want to be delivered from the wrath to come. So therefore we have to labor. We have to fight. We have to continue pushing this word on to the very end. Don't stop. Do not stop. All right, 2 John chapter 1 and verse 8. It says, look to yourselves that we lose not those things which we have wrought. Look to yourself. Don't lose the things which you have wrought. You come in this truth, you preach for years, and then you want to stop. So then with all the years that you put in, with it go along in vain. It says, look to yourself that we lose not those things which we have wrought, but that we receive a full reward. You want to receive that full reward. The Lord gave us the earnest of our inheritance, which is the understanding of this word. The word earnest goes back into our down payment. So he gave us a part of the reward now. So you want to receive the full reward, which is everything else, the other 99%. Don't stop. Don't stop. All right? Don't stop. All right? There's the final precept here. This is Galatians chapter 6 and verse 9. It says, and let us not be weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap. In due season we shall reap if we faint not. So in due season we're going to receive. We're going to receive if we faint not. So don't stop. Don't stop running. Keep racing. Keep your head up. We're almost out. Your salvation, your redemption, draw it near. With that, I want to give all praises and all glory to Yahweh Shai. I want to give double honors to the apostles of great Millstone and do rule well. Salutation to the men of the hopeful and sensei elect. To his brother Marcus out here in Trinidad saying Shalom and stay strong. Shalom.